connecting with guides and higher self. And as you connect with guides and higher self, you ask to be taken to where it is you need to go for your highest purpose in this incarnation. Connecting with the colors, the vibration, the energy of guides and higher self. The energy of Arcturians, the Arcturian trees, the greens, the purples, the sounds.
I know you stood, just to let you know, there's a sense of a gathering crowd of all of that energy and moving through some sort of countryside. Keep going, but I just thought I'd let you know that.
And allowing that gathering crowd of energies from planetary existence, galactic.
It's a celebratory crowd.
Come forth in celebration. They already know of your purpose, of your intention, and they're here to celebrate and join you on this sacred journey. Thanking them for their gathering, for their energy joining you on this journey, guiding you. As you begin to move through this process, down through all the layers of Gaia, down towards the crystalline cave, deep within Gaia. You've been here before and you travel there easily, feeling the sense of vibration, sound, colour, the remembrance of being there before. Your guides are with you. And when you arrive in the crystalline cave, move to your crystal. You can hear a symphony of sounds and vibrations as you're in there. And it becomes more and more familiar the closer you get to your crystal. And when you're in front of your crystal, surrounded by this celebratory crowd, nod the head. And hold sacred ceremony that you're here once again with the intention to move forward into the highest possible place for you at this time in this incarnation, for the highest good of the universal beings, and especially those on earth. And when you're ready, place your hand on the crystal and feel yourself moving through time and space, faster and faster, faster and faster, moving through time and space towards the experience that they wish to give you to help you move forward on your journey. And when I count from 3 down to 1, you'll be there. 3, coming all the way down. 2, almost there. 1, be there now. Using the voice and remaining deeply relaxed, explain what you're experiencing.
I'm aware of a tingling in my feet. there's a sense of darkness, it's a comfortable darkness. Tinged with gold is it's like if you look into a cloud, it's about the sort of dark of a thundercloud, and it's like there's a gold rim, like there's an edge of gold around one of the clouds that is sort of about here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling calm. It's a sense of being in preparation. It's like maybe like a graduation ceremony. It's like something that I've trained for a long time. This is a ceremony I'm about to go through. And I sense that there are beings with me, and that there's like this light beginning to open. It's like a doorway. We've been waiting at a doorway. I feel that in the heart and the sacral. I suppose it's like an adrenaline rush, so there's a mounting excitement and this little bit of anxiety as my entourage and I begin to move forward through an opening which is coming in this greyness, the grey cloud. It's an impression like coming out into an amphitheatre, like sports people coming onto the field. There's cheering,
Mm-hmm.
things of having been awaited. And we are crossing, it's very much like an amphitheatre. So we're crossing the floor of the amphitheatre to a stage, dais, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 levels of chairs, seats.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to the centre one. There's a sense of being royalty or something of that type.
Mm-hmm.
In its setup, it's like the Olympic. There's one in the middle is higher and one slightly lower and one slightly lower again. There's 3 of us going into position, and I'm in the centre one.
And what happens next?
We're all standing. And then we sit down, and there are people coming towards us. My impression is the people with burdens, who are hurt or wounded or troubled.
Mm-hmm.
Are being brought for healing and freedom. And some come to me, some come to one of my 2 companions. There are other people in the entourage, and they're standing behind to help with facilitating, I guess, sort of manage, not exactly crowd management, but it's a healing process that is recognised and familiar in the culture that this is in. So there's the impression that people are, some of them are almost crawling towards the, don't really want to use the word throne, but it feels like a throne that I'm in, with great burdens on their back. And that when they come, something about the interaction between us that enables them to stand up and put down the burdens. they disappear, they transmute, they go away, and they become whole. And there's a sense of a healing flow. It's recognized that I and my companions and this whole ritual liturgy, it's part of the culture. It is part of how this society aids, assists, manages people who are wounded in some way, who are poor, who are ill, particularly crippled. Crippled is the primary impression I'm getting.
Crippled and wounded?
Yes, the wounding's more inner wounding.
Mm-hmm.
Crippled, deformed, impoverished. I'm remembering something from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I had this dream. It wasn't a sleeping dream, it was a daydream, a desire, I suppose. And I was a princess and I lived in a beautiful castle, in a beautiful place. And people who were ill or wounded or poor came and stayed for a while and became well. And when they left, I gave them a bag of gemstones to take with them. So they came in, you know, prince and pauper, they came in that impoverished state and they left with clothes and healthy and in their princeliness really, and enriched. And from my body response, I'm sensing that was something in my throat, that was a memory from this lifetime, from the probably many lifetimes.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a sense of where that society and culture is? Is it on Earth or another planet?
I'm muscle testing yes and no, it's not on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, is it Arcturian? Yes, it is. Oh, hold on. Is it Arcturian? Yes, it is. Is it Lemurian? No, it's not Lemurian. Something, the sense that this is what the Arcturian energy wants to do on Earth. That's its purpose. That's why it's here.
Mm-hmm.
To enable that sort of transformation for humans. Something out of that the crippling is the primary word, and the deformity. It's not, the wounding is on the inside. It's about it's a distorted perception. Not knowing who they are creates this. And that is what this Arcturian energy is here to bring, truth and freedom. That sets people, that just falls away really, that structure dissolves.
Mm-hmm.
So that the reality of the human soul, of the soul, can shine forth, and that people can assume their proper shape and move in the proper way. And I'm aware of sound, that same sound again.
Mm-hmm. So sound plays a part in this energy transfer.
Mm. Mm. The image, I have an image now of it's this sort of shape. It could be like a person. It might be a man lying on their side, sort of like that. I'm not sure whether it is or not, or whether it's is it a being? Yes, it's a being. Their head and hands are towards me, and their feet are pointed away. And they're in a sort of a slight crescent shape. It's very taut. A lot of it's a bit like a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's rolling onto his back and standing up and dancing, ballet type dancing. A sense of tremendous athletics, strength, and skill. And in a circle, like going around the edge of a circular stage. He is inviting me to dance, and dance is something which both I love and feel very inadequate in lifetime. So it's majorly stepping outside my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm letting myself be moved, I guess, joining the dance and trusting. I just have a sense of movement, moving around in circles, a bit like couples waltzing do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't feel my feet. I feel relatively weightless. It's like I'm thought, I guess, or not. It's like I don't have a body. I'm not embodied.
Mm-hmm.
And now there are definitely two of us. Sense of a male energy in me, or male conscious being, whatever, in me, and I'm female. We've stopped whirling and we're now just traveling on sound. Just letting the sound carry us. The vibration of the sound. I'm not aware of anything at the moment except an energy of moving. It's like moving very fast at a bit of a downward slope. Going a long way. There's a sense of purposefulness about it.
Go with it. Where does it take you?
aware of my feet, energy in my feet. I don't know where I am yet. It's a bit like my feet landed first and the rest of me slowly catching up.
Allow the energy to ground and catch up and fully connect.
Phrase it comes to mind as coming home, even though I can't really see more than my feet at the moment. The next phrase is finding myself back where I began. And there's sort of an image. It's very big, it's here, of a child's toy. It's like the ordinary objects, but they're very, very big, like I was perhaps a mouse size. Well, not quite that big. Maybe like I'm child-sized, baby-sized. There's some blue beads. There is one of those hammering, one of them. And it's like a buzzy bead toy. Do you know what I mean by buzzy bead? Only it's not the traditional colours, it's more yellow. Oh, it's like one my son had. It's one my son had. Old-fashioned one with the clackety-clack weary arms. And I'm aware of carpet. I seem to be a child, a very young child on the carpet in the house. Well, it's the carpet that I recognise from the house where we lived when my children were born. The only thing that doesn't fit in there is the beads. Don't know what they're about.
So continue and move forward to what is important for you.
I'm moving through that house in a somewhat disembodied way, floating through it. I have no idea. I think it's more as me, not so much as a baby.
Ask your guides for clarity.
Okay. I think it's about integrating the experience of that marriage better. There were some very important choices I made during that period of my life. Foundational. I don't know whether I can't or just don't want to. There's a point in the hallway, which if I went straight ahead would lead into our bedroom, master bedroom. And I am not going past that point. Do I need to go past that point? No, I don't. All right, we're moving back through the house. Oh, I think I'm just collecting stuff, collecting energy. Yes, I'm collecting energy, which was from my children's rooms. Yeah, there's a sense of actually just for whatever reason I've gone back there to collect energy. So it's like we're sweeping through the house now. I've got a sense of being wide and doing a sweep. Anywhere else I need to go? Okay. Sense of coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Went outside. It's like we collected everything, went outside and came into the crown chakra. It's lifting up, really. It's like moving on. And we're flying again, I don't know where.
Go with it as you're being guided.
I have a sense that we're now approaching flying to a house that Robert and I used to own. Not sure if we're going in, or just going to be aware of it. I think mostly just aware of it and moving on into where we are now. I'm getting the impression I'm being shown significant choice points.
Mm-hmm.
The house that we used to live in is just across the road from where we live now. Well, there was a gap between being there and ending up here. It's like there's a line being drawn in the middle of the road between the two buildings. And my sense is that it's like that first part of my life, or that period of my life up to when we sold that house and went overseas, is one complete energy package.
Mm-hmm.
There's another energy package, which is in our time here, which we've been here 10 years now. And there is an impression that this is starting to round towards a completion here as well. I just asked, is this time here fully complete? And my muscle tested yes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what the beads are about. It's like this big period of my life up to the age of 50, which is when we sold the house and went overseas. And now there's that, you know, how the beads have got a knot between. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's been the last 10 years. $10 to $12 is the sense it could be of this bead, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now pretty much in the energy of this time. I'm not fully back in I'm still definitely in an expanded state, but the energy of this bead, if you like, this 10-year sequence.
Yes.
And you said it's definitely finishing. It's that sense of completion, like we were talking about, a 9-year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and the sense that it's shrinking down. So again, I guess about significant choices, and that parts of this have been a struggle, but that's coming to an end, definitely coming to an end. It's like it's shrinking down, that bead is shrinking down and becoming not even a seed really, smaller than that. So I think what this is showing me is all about completion of what has been about new beginnings, which is what we were tapping on.
Yes.
Got an impression of being on a motor scooter with my helmet on my head. Don't ride a motor scooter, never have, but never mind, that's the image. Ready to zoom off. And it's not the fastest vehicle on the road, but it's manoeuvrable and nippy and perfectly adequate. Light-hearted. Feeling energy in my body. Still something going on around here. So a sense of being grounded. The scooter and I, and not alone. There's a sense of companionship or a group of us, but I don't have any impressions as to who or what. I just know I'm not alone. Yeah. It's like taking a picnic almost, parked on the side of a green grassy place, looking over there's trees, there's grass, there's a fence looking down over a paddock which slopes up. It's got daisies in it, and there's a man, a figure, male figure, dark hair, walking up, wearing brown clothes, walking up to meet us. Coming forward to greet each other. There's an impression of welcome to your new patch. Opening the fence, we're going into the paddock. And walking down, there's a group of us walking down around the slope of the hill to a place, buildings, maybe a series of buildings that people live in. Could be in the ground, I'm not quite sure. It's like a house that's actually built into the earth. It opens, it's built into the side of the cliff or the side of a hill, and it opens as a wide open, the front's glass, opens to the north, to the sunshine, to the grassy fields. Since there's a bunch of people, it feels relatively modern. I've just asked, is this earth? And got the answer, yes. Is it now? Yes. It's sort of just like people were expecting us, they're friends or friendly, welcoming, just hanging out together really. Comfortable. Peaceful. There's a sense I have no idea. I'm just going with the flow, I guess. I've no real idea of what this is about, why we're there, what we're doing, but that's all fine. a sense of being ready to let things emerge. There is a picture taking shape which has some degree of discomfort. It's like a miniature, not a miniature, but it's 2 doors, wooden doors, set in a, like that, a bit like an old-fashioned church doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a human. The head is extended through the doors. They're cut out to allow from here the sense that they're bound. Looking at it. Is it human? Could be a negative energy, negative entity. It's just that sense of being bound.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this big.
Ask your guides why you've seen this and what meaning it has.
It's a reminder. A reminder of what I'm to do. I said, is it about setting things free? And they say yes. The images of, as I'm coming a bit closer, I went as though to put my hand around it. The images are morphing a bit into, you know how if we had a bird fly into the window inside and was trying to get out, so I took it in my hand to take it out and free it.
Mm-hmm.
Morphing a little into more of that sort of an image.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the sense of something struggling to get free. It's been trapped. It has been demonized, but actually isn't. So it's of holding this being in my hands like I'd hold a bird, and letting myself become at peace with the degree of anxiety that is in my cellular structure, and being present to it and letting it calm and myself calm. And communicating like one would to a bird that there is pure intent and positive intent. I was reminded of the Arcturian light and love. And sort of holding it levels my heart where that heart energy can really get at it. And there's a softening of the form in my hands. And a sense of the original doors that held it trapped.
Mm-hmm.
All slowly disintegrating. And what I'm left with is colour and light in my hands. Still in process, it's not complete yet.
Yes.
And there's something like the sense, the message is about loving the thing that I'm most afraid of or most despise or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The thing where the strongest repulsion is. And again, particularly through my throat this time, more strongly than through my heart, but that energy, the sound, allowing that silent sound to vibrate.
Mm-hmm.
The scene, the social scene that we were in is dissolving, and there's a sense of being outside and having been shown something very, very important. Something about the power of the Arcturian heart to transform. That it's the particular vibration, like humans know that love transforms, but this particular vibration of Arcturian love that comes through me, but not only through me, it's the highest form of divine, it's closest to pure divine love, the closest thing that Earth has yet experienced of pure transformative love. So I'm back to having that energy flow through me. And I'm just asking, is this what the next part of my life is about? Which seems very obvious that the answer is yes, but the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just aware of just being really with the energy. I'm just asking, is there anything else I need to know today? No, it's a sense of completion.
Mm-hmm. So allow yourself to come back in whatever way is comfortable and right for you.
I'll spend a bit longer with the energy.
Mm-hmm. Be aware of imprinting with it and connecting with it, recalibrating.
something about there's a surrender to it.
Mm-hmm.
That it moves me a long way fast. An image of coming to the end of the year and then doing a turn, you know, this is the direction I was going in, that's the direction I will be going in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to turn to feel that energy of being in that direction.
Yes.
There's some steps going down. A sense of moving down into the earth and moving along an underground tunnel. Down with the roots of the trees, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And starting to move upwards again. Coming out into the open air. And there, it's like a playing field or a park.
Mm-hmm.
And just walking through the park.
Mm. That was nice.
It was a bit different.
Very Arcturian, very interesting.
Yes.
So I think it's what the important part was obviously that this stage of your energy life is coming to an end and completion and moving on to a new one and a new direction, but also where you were shown that something very important, the power of this vibration of Arcturian love is the closest thing to pure, transformed, divine love that Earth has experienced. And that's what you were letting that energy move through you and experience it.